when the sky was getting darker.
What happened, baby?
I said when the sky is getting darker.
Oh, when the sky is getting darker.
Then we have the Maddie.
And then we have the Maddie.
The Miriam.
The
Madeline.
The Madeline.
And John.
And
All
the
get
John.
into the vehicle.
All get into the vehicle.
To drive to Washington.
To drive to Washington Township.
To watch us a big. Oh, to watch us big tonight again.
To watch a big
Tonight again.
And to catch the mayor.
And then as we get there,
John was saying, don't get out of the car yet.
and then, so that we can join
the
whole
crowd.
louder
The whole crowd.
In
including
40 years.
for the first time in 30 years. Including
With all of the rest of your packed stuff.
with all of the rest of your packed stuff.
Moms.
Babies.
Louder.
Infants. Children. Kids. Brothers. Sisters. Dads. Grandmas. Grandpas. Aunts. Uncles. Cousins. Nieces. Nephews. I need you to take care of the string beans for me.
Oh,
Cousins.
I get this lotion.
Friends. It smells good.
Fan.
Strong.
Fans.
Molly.
Malies. And all of them. Fire.
All of your departments.
And all of your departments.
And all of the jobs.
And
all of the dogs and the cats.
And all of the dogs and the cats.
And all of your whole. And all of your whole. All of your international people.
And all of your international people.
We are gathering around the parking lot.
We are
in
gathered
Washington
around the parking lot in Washington.
to watch us a Tonight again and catch the mayor again.
To watch us a Tonight again and catch the mayor again.
But the fourth time in.
But the fourth time in.
21 years.
For the first time in 21 years. Huh?
And then Maddie kept saying a bad word.
And then Maddie kept saying a bad word. And Nana tells you, stop saying bad words or you're going to get bow bow. You got that?
The first of the colorful neon in the sky.
And the first spark of the colorful
In the sky.
in the sky.
And all of your rolling 20s.
And
30s,
all of your rolling 20s, 30s, 40s,
50s,
50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
And even all of 2000 and 2010s.
And even all of the 2000 and 2010s. All
Gather
around at the parking lot.
And everyone was cheered and drew their caves.
And everyone was cheered and threw their canes up in the air. And they threw their walkers up in the air. And they threw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they threw their walking sticks up in the air. And they, oh my goodness, they even threw their motorized scooters up in the air. Woo!
The second round was sparkling in the sky.
And the second round was sparkling in the sky.
But it scared
But it scared
the little girl.
the little girl.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. And the mom tells the little girl,
Don't be fooled, you little one.
don't be fooled, you little one. It's just a colorful sky. And the little one said, ooh, ah.
The third of sparkling.
The third,
The first giant finale starts.
and then the first giant finale starts.
So you can. Maddie totally loses it.
And Maddie totally loses it. And she starts jumping all around, up and down. And she's screaming, ah, woo! And Nana's telling her, control, Maddie, control. But you cannot contain her excitement. She is totally losing it and recording everything and jumping up in the air. Woo!
second. Giant finale is second. Third and fourth, fifth.
The giant
Hello,
finale,
but
fourth
she
and
scares
fifth.
the babies.
But it scares the baby. And the mommy tells the baby, "It's okay. Don't be fooled."
But she
But she
continues to cry.
continues to cry. Wee! Wee! Especially the higher. Wee!
Say, wiggle.
And Maddie says, "Wiggle." And the baby
Continues.
to cry.
And that tells you,
And
what's
then
your
tells
name?
you, "What's your name?" It's
Steve.
Steve.
What's your name?
What's your name?
It's Steve.
Steve. And what's your name? It's
Anthony.
Anthony. She. And the people are so friendly.
And second, and Maddie tells you, kept saying, Ed's World.
And Maddie kept saying, "Ed's World."
But she saw a spaceship up in the sky.
But she saw a spaceship up in the sky.
And all of us grasped our ladders, and he opens the door and climbs up the ladders and puts on her and grabs her microphone.
And they grab the ladder and they climb up the ladder and grab the
Bluetooth
microphone and say,
device is ready to pass.
and it says, "The Bluetooth device is ready to pair." And he says, "Testing, testing."
And everyone yells.
And everyone yells, "Hello, yay!" And the mayor says, "Thank you all for coming and joining us in this spectacular show. The first one in 21 years. Are you all having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah! I love your uniform. Thank you!" And then the mayor said, "Are you ready, crowd, to catch the man for the biggest, grandest, most ginormous, incredible, grandest of the finales ever?" And the crowd shouts,
Yes, we are.
Woo!
So you can, giant finale starts so you can booms in your chest.
And the giant finale starts, and you can feel the booms in your chest. Boom.
And Maddie totally loses it. And the whole crowd totally loses it.
And the whole crowd totally loses it. And they're all jumping up and down and screaming and shouting.
And he's gotta be heads off.
And throws, he's gotta be heads on.
Heads on up in the air.
Hats
The
up in
grandparents
the air.
totally loses it.
And the grandparents totally loses it. And they throw their canes up in the air. And they throw their walkers up in the air. And they throw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they throw their walking sticks up in the air. And oh my goodness, they even throw their motorized scooter up in the air.
And they throw their wigs up in the air.
And they throw their wigs up in the air.
And oh my goodness,
and
they
oh my
even
goodness.
threw a toupee.
They even threw their toupee up in the air.
And they throw their ascots.
And they throw their ascots up in the air.
And they throw their bow ties up in the air.
And they throw their bow ties up in the air. And they throw their scarves up in the air. And they throw their suspenders up in the air. And they throw their glasses up in the air.
And they
Woo!
throw their old hats up in the air.
And they throw their old hats up in the air. Woo! Yay!
Then your ice cream truck totally loses it.
Then your ice cream truck totally loses it. And they throw the ice cream and the ice cream cones up in the air. And they throw the sprinkles up in the air.
And they throw their rocket pops up in the air.
rocket pops up in the air.
And they throw their banana splits
banana
up in the air.
splits up in the air.
And they gets out of the truck.
And
And
they get
oh
over-
my yummy and goodness.
And they get out of the truck. And oh my yummy and goodness.
Wow. I cannot
Wow.
believe it.
I cannot believe it. They even threw their truck up in the air. Woo! And the people are screaming, yay! Ice cream! Rockets! Woo! And even banana splits! Yummy!
Rolling
Wow.
20s totally loses it.
And the rolling 20s totally loses it.
And they throw their cigarettes up in the air. And they threw their hats up in the air.
And they throw their suspenders up in the air. And they throw their boas up in the air. And they throw their, oh my goodness, they even threw their Victrola up in the air.
And
Woo!
your juke.
And their jukebox up in the air. Woo! Yay!
And child totally loses it.
And the child totally loses it.
And they throw their pants jacket up in the air.
And they throw their pants jacket up in the air.
And they throw their bows.
And they throw their bows up in the air.
And they throw their ribbons up in the air.
And they throw their ribbons up in the air.
And they throw their hats up in the air.
And they throw their hats up in the air.
And they throw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their caps up in the air.
And,
Woo! Yay!
and he's starting. They throw their necklace and bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their necklace and bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their sneakers up in the air.
And they throw their sneakers up in the air.
And she's starting to running around, to jumping around,
And
and
they-
doing their somersaults.
They start running around and jumping around and doing their somersaults. Woo! And their windmills, and they are partying hard. Yay! Yay!
Blow dry.
And the hairdresser totally loses it. And she throws her scissors up in the air. And she throws her apron up in the air. And she throws the mousse up in the air. And she throws the hairspray up in the air. And she throws the hair shaver up in the air.
And they throw their hair colors up in the air.
And they throw their hair colors up in the air. And she throws the blower up in the air.
And oh my
And
goodness!
oh my goodness. She even threw
Her
her
chair.
chair up in the air. Woo!
They throw their shampoos up in the air.
And they throw the shampoos up in the
And
air. And they
Throw their hair grower up in the air.
hair grower up in the air.
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
And
Yay!
four-man males totally loses it.
And four-man Mills totally loses it. And they throw
Their
their
sneakers.
sneakers up in the air. And they throw their t-shirts and jerseys up in the air. And they throw their hangers up in the air.
And oh my goodness.
And oh my goodness. You want to try some of this? This is beef and broccoli.
No. They even throw away.
They even throw their cash registers up in the air.
Yay! And your Waffle House totally loses it.
And your Waffle House totally
Lower.
And your
Waffle House totally loses
it. And they throw their Waffle air. And they throw their chicken up in the air. And they throw their fries up in the air. And oh my goodness.
Wow.
They even threw their fryers up in the air. Woo! Yeah!
Try cutting your Sorry.
And your Babies R Us totally loses it.
That's your drink.
And your Babies R Us totally loses it.
Oh, just a drink. I have some.
And they throw their.
Just try it. And they throw their. You can have it.
Ah! No, I don't want all this now. Oh.
And they throw their.
Bah.
Wow.
What do they throw?
Toy.
Toys up in the air.
And they throw their babies up in the air.
And they throw their babies up in the air.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
They even throw a
throw a crib up in the air. Woo! Yay! Wow!
department totally loses it.
And the
Department
department
totally.
totally loses it.
And they throw their glove.
And they throw their gloves up in the air.
And they throw their OT.
And they throw their old Tesla up in the air.
Wow. And they throw their pills up in the air.
And they throw their pills up in the air.
And they throw their
Shots.
shots up in the
And
air.
they throw their shots up in the air.
But when she hits the baby,
But when it hits the baby, whee! And the mom tells the baby, oh no, it's okay. And she takes the needle
Bandage.
out and puts a Band-Aid on it. Oh, cuckoo.
woo!
Woo!
And he throws her hose up in the air.
And they throw their hose up in the air.
And they throw their
And they throw their
ladders up in the air.
ladders up in the air. And
And
oh
my
goodness, they even threw their truck up in the air. The ambulance and the fire truck. Woo! This is
and they
getting
throw their
wild.
batons up in the air.
And they throw their batons up in the air.
And they throw their
And they throw their
pepper spray up in the air.
pepper spray up in the air. And they throw their
Guts.
guns. Guns. And they throw their guns up in the air. Woo! And they throw their handcuffs up in the air. Woo! Yay!
Wow! And oh my freaking goodness.
Oh my freaking goodness!
Wow, I cannot believe it.
I cannot believe it!
They even throw a
You wanna go outside? Outside? Come on.
oh, wow, they even
I
throw
think he wants your food.
You can have it.
Well,
and they even throw a
And they even throw a
cars up in the
Oh, what?
car up in the air. Woo! Yay! Woo woo woo!
executioner totally loses it.
Ah! And the executioner totally loses it.
Oh my goodness. Watch out.
Oh my goodness! Watch out!
They even throw electric.
They even throw their electric chair up in the air. Woo! Yay!
Prisoner totally loses it.
And the prisoners totally loses it. And they throw their sneakers up in the air. And they throw their ball and chain up in the air.
And they throw their
And they throw their...
I have an idea.
I have an idea. They even threw their
J-
jail cell up in the air. Jumpsuits up in the air. Woo! Yay! Bravo!
And the mayor said,
And the mayor said,
BK totally freaking loses it.
BK totally freaking loses it.
And they throw her.
And they throw their burgers up in the
Oh
air.
my God.
And they throw their whoppers up in the air.
And they throw her.
And they throw their french fries up in the air.
And they throw their hash brown up in the
And
air.
they throw their hash browns up in the air. And they throw their milkshakes up in the air.
And they throw their sodas up in the air. And they throw their waters up in the air.
And they throw their sodas up in the air. And they throw their waters up in the air.
And oh my freaking goodness.
And oh my freaking goodness.
They even throw soda dispensers and fryers and spatula up in the
They
air.
even threw the soda dispensers and fryers and spatulas up in the air. Woo! Woo!
And the mayor said,
And the mayor said, "Whoa! What a show!"
and I wanted to ask your whole,
And I wanted to ask you, whole nation,
and are you ready?
and are you ready to catch?
Attention please. And are you ready?
And are you, attention please, and are you ready to catch the mayor? That's me. And the crowd says,
Yes,
yes,
we
we
are.
are. Woo!
And the giant crowd starts to run. All crowd starts to run.
And the
'Cause-
giant crowd. and
Because
all
the mayor
crowd
is
run.
about to fall down.
And the mayor is about to fall down.
And there she
And
is.
there she is. And
He-
the mayor, there he is. And the mayor
Flips
flips
off
off the
stage.
stage.
And the
Woo!
and the crowd runs over and catches him.
And the crowd runs over and catches him. And they catch the mayor. And the mayor totally loses it. Woo! Yay! And he's in a crowd, a sea of people. Woo!
I can't believe you caught me.
I can't believe you caught me. Yay! Woo!
They're all chanting.
And they're all chanting, Mayor! 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 Woo!
And Lowe's totally loses it.
And
Home Depot and Lowe's totally loses
And
it.
Home Depot and Lowe's totally loses it. And they throw their ladders up in the air. And they throw their orange buckets up in the air. And they throw their blue buckets up in the air. And they throw their
Gray.
apron.
Gray bucket up in the air.
And they throw their gray buckets up in the air.
And oh my goodness.
And oh my goodness, they even threw the
Sandbox.
sandbox up in the air. Woo! Yay! Woo! Meanwhile, the mayor is still in a sea of people and they're all chanting, Mayor! Mayor!
Mom looks out the window.
And Mom looks out the window.
People were dancing with the mayor.
And the people were
And the
dancing
mayor-
with the mayor. Woo!
Mayor is following along.
And the mayor was following along. Woo! Yay! And
90s, 80s totally loses it.
the 90s and 80s totally loses it. And they throw their caps up in the air. And they throw their cassettes up in the air. And oh my goodness,
2000s and 2010s totally loses it.
And the 2000s and 2010s totally loses it.
And they throw their iPads up in the air.
And they throw their iPads up in the air. And they throw their iPods up in the air. And they throw their laptops up in the air. And they throw their tablets up in the air. Woo! And oh my goodness! They
No
even
way.
threw... No way!
I cannot believe it.
I cannot believe it! They even threw their
We threw the flat screens in the desktop.
And they even threw their flat screen TVs and their desktops up in the air. Woo! What a show!
Don't forget the 2020 totally loses it.
And then the 2020 totally loses it. And they throw their cell phones up in the air.
And they throw...
And they throw their virtual reality headsets up in the air. And they throw their tablets up in the air. Woo!
And oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, they even threw their electric cars up in the air. Woo! Yay!
And the Rolling 20s throws their, oh my goodness, old cars.
And the Rolling 20s throws, oh my goodness.
No way.
No way! They even threw their old cars up in the air. Woo! Yay!
Wow.
Wow.
And the mayor starts to dance with following along.
And the mayor starts to dance while everyone's following along.
Crazy holidays.
What a holiday for this crazy holiday. Woo! And the crowd brings the mayor back
With his crazy Zanny.
with crazy Zanny. Woo!
Ooh.
And they bring...
And the locker totally loses it.
And the locker totally loses it. And they throw the locks up in the air. And they throw the keys up in the air. And they throw the bolt cutters up in the air. Woo! Yay!
Oh my goodness.
And oh my goodness, they even threw the giant safes up in the air. Woo!
Wow, Domino's totally loses it.
Well, Domino's totally loses it. And they throw their pizza up in the air. And they throw the pepperonis up in the air. And they throw the pasta up in the air. And they throw the breadsticks up in the air. And they throw the paninis up in the air. And oh my goodness, they even threw a delicious lava cake up in the air.
And throw their cars.
And they throw their cars up in the air. And they throw their huge Domino sign up in the air. Woo! Yay! Bravo!
Whole nations totally loses it.
And the whole nation totally loses it. And they're still carrying the mayor around. Mayor! 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 Mayor!
And the whole nation throws their...
And the whole nation throws their...
What do you think? I have an idea. Hint.
Hint. Their flags?
Yeah.
And the whole nation throws their flags up in the air. Woo!
pop-up is sparkling in the sky,
And
but
the
she's
pop-up is
scared the
sparkling
grandparents.
in the sky, and it scared the grandparents. Oh my! I almost had a heart attack. Woo! Yay!
And Prankster totally loses it.
And Pranksters totally loses it. Woo! Yay! Bravo!
And they throws her.
And they throw their scripts up in the air. And they throw their video recording equipment up in the air. Woo!
And they throws her.
And they throw their
Whoopee.
whoop pass too.
Whoop-ee.
And they throw their whoopee up in the air. Whoopee! Woo! Yay!
And the dramatic totally loses it.
And the Dramatics totally loses it. And they throw a diva tantrum. Woo!
And they throw their
And they throw their
trailers up in the air.
trailers up in the air. Woo! Yay! And
Wah.
you bring the mayor back to the stage.
And your virtual totally loses it.
And your virtual reality totally loses it. Woo!
Virtual.
And the virtua totally loses it. And they throw their windows up in the air. And they throw their hospital stretchers up in the air. And they throw the blood pressure machines up in the air. And they throw their scales up in the air. And oh my goodness, they even threw the medical beds up in the air. Woo! Yay!
They even threw a colonoscopy up in the
They
air.
even threw the colonoscopy machine up in the air. Woo! Yay!
And the Rolling 20s throws their, oh my goodness, jazzy hands.
And the Rolling 20s throws their, oh my goodness, jazzy hands up in the air. Woo! And there's hands flying everywhere. Woo! Jazzy hands, jazzy hands.
Goo goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga.
And Israel totally loses it.
And Israel totally loses it. Ouch.
And they throws her.
And they throw their,
Oh my goodness.
oh my goodness. They throw their entire flag up in the air. Woo! Yay!
They throws her.
They throw their,
Gives them a hint.
gives us hint. Dreidels.
Oh, candles.
And they throw their candles up in the air. Woo! Yay! Bravo!
And German grandparents totally loses it.
And the German grandparents
And German Scrooges totally loses
and
it.
the German Scrooges totally loses it. Woo!
And they throw, and the German grandparents and Scrooges throws their,
And the German grandparents and Scrooges throw their canes up in the air. And they throw their walking sticks up in the air. And they throw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they throw their walkers up in the air. And oh my goodness, they even throw their hover round up in the air. Woo! Yay! Bravo!
and the mayor said,
And the mayor said,
"Wow,
wow,
what?
what a show! And thank you so much for catching the mayor. That's me.
And everyone brings her mayor back onto the stage.
And everyone brings the mayor back to the stage. And the mayor flips off the sea of people and lands on the stage and says, "Whoa! What a
Crazy holiday.
Crazy holiday!
What a sparkling.
And
What a amazing sparkling show.
And what an amazing, sparkly show! Thank you all for coming. I hope to see you again next year, folks.
Will you be there?
Will you be here? Next year? Would you be there?
Yay!
Yay! Woo! Count us in! Woo!
Look, you hear everybody clapping.
And everybody's clapping. Woo!
I hope to see you next year in Voorhees.
I hope to see you next year in Voorhees.
Woo!
Yay!
And then when he gets out,
Gets
in the vehicle,
in the vehicles,
Mom tells you,
and Mom tells you,
wow,
"Wow! Thank you for coming to this
Washington.
Did you have fun?"
Yeah. Because there's